We're talking about Apple, which sells consumer electronics, computer software, and personal computers. I'm a fan.
Right, so it is still the world's most valuable company. Remember, in recent months, it's been doing a bit of a yo-yo with Google, which has been right up there. So Apple's sort of been holding its own at about $100 per share, trading in New York.
Market cap $542.4 billion US dollars, a PE of 11, and a dividend yield of 2.3%.
That's a crazy low price-to-earnings ratio, don't you think, Chantal?
For a company like this, it really is, and I think it is. It has been under a lot of pressure. It's done basically nothing this year so far. It's down over a 1-year period, and really there hasn't been a massive reason for it. Most of the movements that we've seen in terms of revenue on the iPhone sales have been more or less expected. So the market's probably just punishing it a little bit for not being super duper amazing as always.
Well, while the market punishes it, isn't that a buying opportunity for those who have the long-term belief that this is an industry that you can't ignore?
Yes, and you can argue that way. I mean, this company is also changing itself a little bit as well, trying to lean more towards services, wearables, get away from just hardcore hardware. At the moment, hardware sales, that's iPhone, iPad, iMac, makes up 85% of revenue, and the rest makes up 15% of revenue. But we've seen Apple TV gain a lot of traction. Apple Music, I'm loving Apple Music. I mean, it's like this algo knows me. It's just there's a lot of other avenues
Once
that
you've
they're
listened
exploring.
to one song that comes up, would you like to listen to all of these given your choice?
Yes, and it's just like it just knows me. I mean, and you're rediscovering tunes of your youth.
Well, we were talking about, what was the application yesterday? The machine? Not Siri?
The Echo, which is an Amazon thing, okay? But that's slightly different.
No, but we're welcoming this robotic interaction.
Yeah, no, exactly.
We're missing it in the human interaction.
Look, I think the iPhone 7 is coming, and it's coming later this year. It's going to have a slightly different form factor. Apparently it's going to be like waterproof and have a much better battery. And
Waterproof will go down well.
Yeah, that's a plus. And because it'll look different, it'll probably get a bigger sales bump than there was with the transition from the iPhone 6 to the 6S.
Let's look at the share price graph.
Tremendous margins, Apple, and such a great manufacturer. But that's what Chantal's referring to. So they got to 130 in the middle of 2015, and since then they've drifted around. They went as low as like the high 80s. Now they're at 98.
But then again, take note, as we said, of the price-earnings ratio.
An astonishing amount of cash on the balance sheet because it makes so much money from selling all these devices all around the world. Most of that cash is outside of the US, but they have commenced paying quite a good dividend. You know, in prior years we would have been talking about Apple not with a dividend. So I think that's great, and I think my view is they're going to get into manufacturing cars by buying Tesla or Uber or something like that.
And we'll go into that driverless car technology.
But look, this is the blue sky, pie in the sky type of comments. Tesla has got a market cap of $35 or something billion, so they could buy them with the petty cash. Uber would be a bit more of a stretch.
So let's just go to today's problem. Should you be owning Apple or not?
So it's difficult to say how this is going to play out and what impact exactly that 7S is going to have. And as you mentioned, blue sky, pie in the sky type scenario. But
no, let's leave the blue sky.
Yeah.
On current fundamentals.
We know it's a good company. We know they have good management.
Is it hot or not?
It would be hot based on that multiple.
Cool.
Definitely hot. Even just at the current level, there is enormous potential to sell more iPhones into the parts of the world where it's not fully extended. And certainly China and India are the key markets, but Africa and elsewhere. So plenty of money still to be made.
Hot.
Ridiculously low price to earnings ratio, definitely hot.